is Donna Fiesel, and I'm your host of The Edge on IC Radio, your source for news and entertainment. You can also find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications, and Abundance Television, which is found on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire. Don't forget that podcast, netnewsnetwork.net. Again, thank you so much for watching. We're going to be talking about bitter food today, like bitter food, bitter? Yeah, we're going to be talking about bitter foods today. You know, these are foods that are really good for you, and they stimulate your body's digestion, helps increase the amount of digestive secretions in your stomach. It helps break down food more quickly and effectively. Now, because bitter foods stimulate digestion, they're also helping your body stay active in this nervous system. So think about rest and digest. So if you're feeling a little weirdo, nauseated, bloated, or anything like that, bitter foods can actually help. So let's go on ahead and talk about some of those and how good they are for us. Yes, bitter foods. I like bitter foods. I know it's weird. I like, you know, sometimes I get a craving for sugar, something sweet, which is more often than it needs to be. Or you can get, you know, just something salty. And then sometimes, I think it's your body talking to you. So your body will also say, I need something earthy. And I think it all works out. So let's go on ahead. We got quite a few. Let's go ahead and get started. By the way, this is a fabulous website, traywellness.com. That's Tray wellness.com. And you'll find all kinds of really great articles about health and the food you eat and what's good for you. And I go through, this is a must-go-to website for me because I have a garden. And so all of this stuff is really, it's something you need to know. You know, some of these things we kind of let go by the wayside because of, you know, we go for what's going to be handy and more convenient and that kind of thing. And sometimes going through the drive-through, you know, now, I love burgers and fries just like everybody else does, but sometimes that's not the most healthy thing to do. Okay, so let's talk about leafy greens. Okay, but it's actually from broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower. Now, you know the little secret I told you guys about cabbage. If you'll cut off the bottom part of that cabbage, hopefully it has a little bit bigger lip. The bigger lip, when you're shopping for cabbage, look for one that has the bigger core. Okay, so it's going to be a little bit taller, at least a 1/4 inch. And then what you can do when you get rid of that core, put it in some water. Just find something cheap, just an old butter bowl or something, and just barely cover that bottom core. Okay, because it can cause some root rot. So what you're going to be looking for is roots that go out. So I've done this, and actually it's been so fantastic that, I mean, it's really incredible how I'm using that very same cabbage I bought months ago, and it just keeps reproducing. And so try that. That's, if you buy cabbage once, from this point on, never buy another one. So that's just another good thing for you to do. But the vegetable is really useful in helping your liver. That's what you need to stimulate bile production. Helps detoxify your body. It also regulates immune function and aids in cancer prevention. There's a pepper flavor in some of those that has a natural cooling effect on the body. And also, like all greens, it does hydrate your body. So that's why you see more people eating salads in the summertime. They don't know they're doing that, but their body is asking to be hydrated. And so that's why they're doing it. Okay, number 2, my favorite one is coffee. Through the years, you'll hear coffee's good for you, coffee's bad for you. I think too much of anything is not good, and I am more likely to do too much of the coffee, which is probably not a good deal. But coffee is a powerful detoxifier for the liver and the colon. This increases the bile flow and dilates blood vessels. Now, some studies show drinking coffee may also help the liver regulate itself. And as most athletes know, it can actually boost your performance. I got to have my coffee in the morning. I mean, I'm practically sitting here. There was a commercial used to come on television. Phil said, that guy's you. And so I'm practically waiting on the coffee. I got my mouth like under the spout, waiting on the coffee to come in. So we have a coffee maker. Phil actually gets this ready the night before, so it has a timer on it. So when I have to get it super early, you know, the weather and the traffic report and all that. So I mean, it's on time. I mean, it's on time. Now, dill is number 3. Dill is a natural antibiotic. That's probably why people like dill pickles. We love them. We love dill pickles. And one thing that can do, it has the ability to fight free radicals. Now, the oils in dill contain a compound called carvone, which can relieve an upset stomach, reduces gas, and helps push food through the digestive system, making it a good toxin flusher. Now, a lot of folks use dill as a mouth cleanser because it also fights bad breath. I didn't know that until just now. So put fresh dill in sauces and salad dressings and pile it on top of salmon. Anything, we put it on everything, and we love dill pickles. And let me tell you about dill. If you buy a dill plant, it's forever. And so I have some, it comes up every year. I think, oh, it probably won't come up this year. It always does. So I have some at the side right by my strawberries, and I use dill on everything. Again, pickles, salads, everything. And then another thing I like to do are the dill seeds. I save them, and then through the winter time, what I'm doing is sprinkling those little dill seeds all over the salads, and it's super, super good. And basically no work to do it. Dandelion greens. You think it's a weed? I think it's just a weed that didn't get a name until later in life. Dandelion greens seem to be able to do it all. They cleanse the liver, relieve constipation and diarrhea, reduce gas buildup. It assists in weight reduction, prevents and lowers high blood pressure, reduces inflammation, and the list just goes on and on and on. They're also really high in protein. We have bees, honeybees here on the farm, and I'm going to tell you what the honeybees are just all about. Dandelions. Dandelions are like their first food of spring, and so Phil got so aggravated at me because he's one of those, I want to cut the grass almost every day, and I'm like, it doesn't need it every day. So I said, okay, cut the front yard, just don't cut the backyard, because the bees need these dandelions. And of course, they pop up almost overnight anyway. But anyway, he let it go as much as he could. And he said, okay, I put my leg out there. I've used my leg for a gauge. It's up to my knee. Can we cut the grass now? So he did get his way. He cut it. And by the way, if you'll save the grass that comes from cutting your grass, if you'll save that, start a compost pile. It's like the world's best. It makes the world's best. You can't buy bagged compost this good. I mean, it's just really good. And then all through the year, all through the season, we're doing this layer. It's kind of, we call it the lasagna layer. And so you put your grass or whatever you've got, and also your food peelings. It can be like no meat products, no grease, nothing like that. You're going to attract the wrong kinds of pests if you put meat products in there. So you put your food leftovers, salad, stuff like that. And then you'll put cardboard. Make sure with the cardboard, it just goes on easier. And then put your grass or whatever, limbs. In a year, you've got the world's best compost. And if you bought that compost, it would cost you a small fortune. So this is just something you can do. And any yard, it doesn't matter how small the yard is, you can start your own little compost pile there. So that's going to be good for your garden next year. Saffron. Let's talk about that. It's one of the most highly valued and expensive spices in the world. I'm going to get some of that. Good news, however, a little bit goes a long way. So saffron is an antioxidant and improves your blood circulation. It also helps athletes. It eases their fatigue and also muscle inflammation by assisting the tissues in getting rid of lactic acid, which builds up after vigorous exercise. So I'm wondering if this would be good because Phil gets these cramps all the time in his legs. And, he'll take mustard and stuff like that. But I'm wondering if saffron would be good for that. So I'm going to order some. Okay, Jerusalem artichokes. Now, these are kind of potato looking. They're knobbly looking. They're vegetables that are rich in inulin, which is a starch that's handled by the body's differently than sugars do. Although it's not used for energy metabolism, starch has been shown to control blood sugar and improve the immune system. It's also very high in iron, magnesium, potassium, and B vitamins. Kale, one of my favorite greens, and it's so easy to grow. I mean, and that's something else that'll come up every single year, okay? So plant it once and you got it coming up. Now, if vegetables help popularity contest, kale would reign as king. It does. But I have to tell you, turnip greens are good too. Turnip greens they're not marketed like kale is, but turnip greens are really good for you. With all of its vitamins, antioxidants, anti-inflammatory properties, and calcium, its superfood status and that is warranted. And kale's sulfur and soluble fiber makes it a great detoxifier. Add it to salads, soups, and superfood bowls everywhere. We like to do, well, I do, Phil's not into it as much as I am, but kale chips, and they're really, really easy to make. Sesame seeds are good for you. Sesame seeds are one of the oldest cultivated plants in the world. It was used as medicine in the Egyptian times, some 3,600 years ago. Sesame seeds help cleanse the colon. They're high in calcium and magnesium. Choose raw and unprocessed seeds when you can. One more thing, then we'll go into a commercial break. I'm talking about turmeric. Turmeric is good for everything. I put about a quarter teaspoon and drink that every single morning with my breakfast. And now you need one of those little spinner things because it doesn't mix well. A spoon, you're still going to have like little bubbles and stuff in it. So I have one of these little spinner things I use, and it just goes right into the glass and it goes like that, and so it stirs it up really good. But this is a common Indian spice. It helps cleanse the blood, regenerate damaged liver cells, and fights indigestion and inflammation. The turmeric is also a natural painkiller. That may be why I don't get headaches anymore. I used to get headaches all the time. I just thought about that. Which bodes well for those who want to enhance performance. Add the ground spice to curries, or throw fresh turmeric into rice, marinades, or smoothies. So that's my little smoothie that I get every single day. Let's go into a commercial break, and we're going to be right back in just a few minutes. The Hatter Cafe and Country Inn is nestled in the northeast corner of Alabama the Beautiful in the delightful town of Mentone. We're located on top of scenic Lookout Mountain near Little River and DeSoto State Park, and located only 5 minutes from shopping and restaurants. There is also a nearby community walking path and golf course. We welcome everyone through the doors, and we are committed to outstanding service for all guests. At the Hatter Cafe and Country Inn, we invite people from all walks of life to come and get away from it all, enjoy the open spaces, treetop views, fresh, clean air, and experience Southern hospitality at its finest. We look forward to hosting you. To reserve a special event, or if you would love a special getaway at the Country Inn, you can call us at 256-634-2018.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and my employees and I want to thank each and every one of you for your continued support. With everything going on right now, your rest is so important. That's why we're having the biggest MyPillow sale ever. Not only are my bed pillows as low as $19.98, but you can get the best body pillows ever. Regular $89.98, now only $29.98. Take your rest on the go with our Roll and Go Anywhere MyPillows for only $14.98. And we have our new couch and accent pillows. They aren't just for looks. They have MyPillow's patented adjustable fill that gives you that amazing MyPillow comfort. In this economy, you get the best gifts ever for the best prices ever. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code and you get deep discounts on body, couch, bolster pillows, and so much more, including my original bed pillows for as low as $19.98. Please order now while quantities last.
Okay, we are back. My name is Donna Fiesel, and I'm your host of The Edge on IAC Radio, your source for news and entertainment. You can also find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications, and Abundance Television, which is found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. We're talking about bitter foods. Yes, bitter foods are good for you. We've been talking about kale, and turmeric is just super good. It's one of those superfoods that I just found out about. It's a really good, doesn't cost a whole lot of money. And I'll have to tell you, the thing about turmeric is a little bit goes a long way. My little superfood that I every morning with my breakfast, I have just about a quarter teaspoon, and I put it in water. You can have it warm water, cool water, lukewarm, whatever. It doesn't really matter. Now drink it really fast because it goes down into the bottom of the glass, but it's super good for you. And so one of my friends told me, she has asthma like I do, and she said, you need to make a concoction, actually, and it's Judy. Let me see if I can find that real quick. And let me find her. She sent me a text message. Actually, they were over at the house the other day, and she said, you know what, girlfriend? You got to start using turmeric. And I said, well, I have been. And she said, but this is for your asthma. And let me see if I can find it real quick. Let's see. There she is, Judy. Okay, now this is my friend Judy. Um, Judy Hunton. Her husband actually pastors the cowboy church we go to. Okay, here it is. So what you do is you take a teaspoon first thing in the morning and just let it coat your throat for at least 15 minutes before drinking anything. And she said to take it the night before I go to bed, and I feel a little extra immune support. So this is the recipe. So it's wait a minute, 1/2 cup of 100% local honey. Make sure it's local honey, okay? And wherever you live in the United States or the world, you're listening to me right now, somebody sells local honey in your area, so seek them out. You can usually find them on Facebook. Just type in local honey to whatever, if you live in Anaheim, California, that's fine. Local honey, Anaheim, California. And you'll be able to find your local beekeeper. You got to buy from them. It's going to cost you a little more, but it's worth it. Oh, and let me tell you about local honey. I thought that it had to be crystal clear. It does not have to be crystal clear. So when we strain it, we use a little seething thing, and it's like a bunch of little holes and stuff in it. So we put that in there, and I used to put a cloth over it just to get every little bit of whatever. Don't do that. You want some of that really neat bee stuff floating on the top of that. You need to stir it every time you're going to use it as well. Local honey is absolute best. If it's clear honey, it's not good for you. Okay, so this is the concoction. So 1/2 cup of 100% pure local honey, 1 teaspoon of ground turmeric, 1/2 teaspoon of ginger. You also need 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. You need to mix it thoroughly. Store it in the jar with a lid on the counter or in the refrigerator. It doesn't really matter. You can store it on the shelf with your other supplements and oils if you'd like to do that. Take 1 teaspoon of this every day. The properties include antifungal, anti-aging. Ooh, I didn't know that. Wow, thanks, Judy. That's why you look so young. Antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, and it also fights cancer. So she said that she even gives this to her daughter, who is 15 months old. It gives her about a third of a teaspoon. You can also add 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, a 1/2 teaspoon of ground black pepper, 2 tablespoons of lemon zest, or 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. Use stainless steel utensils if you can do that. So anyway, this is just a super duper awesome thing to do. So wow, thank you, Judy, for that. Now we know why she looks so young. That's why. Okay, now ginger. While we were talking about turmeric, let's go into ginger. So this is a powerful exotic root. Ginger adds unique spicy bitter flavor to soups, curries, salads, and tea. I like ginger tea. Ginger ale, and all those things are really good. These are also known for treating nausea, motion sickness, and strengthening the immune system. It's a natural bitter. Ginger is a great asset to any modern diet. Now, citrus, lemon, lime, and grapefruits. Let's talk about that for just a few minutes. All of the citrus fruits, grapefruits, and the most abundant sources of natural bitters. You'll find the best source of bitter flavor among grapefruits with a yellow rind. I always think of pink. I think I just like the color pink. Maybe that's why I think of pink. So this is, let me go ahead and look at my timer and make sure. Okay, I'm doing good. You can also add the yellow rind. We talked about that. You can also add some lemon juice to warm water in the morning to kickstart your digestion. Good thing. Good info. Peppermint. Peppermint. Who doesn't like peppermint? Peppermint has a wide variety of uses, but it's especially good for the gut and bowel problems, as it helps expel gas and helps gas buildup. It also is used to treat headaches. My son does that. He got on this bandwagon years and years ago. It's like me. It kind of runs in our family. He'd get headaches, and so he gets it's like an essential oil, peppermint essential oil. So if he thinks he's got a headache about to come on, he gets just a drop of it and puts it at his temples, because that's where he actually has his headaches. And he does that instead of taking medicine. It's also good for nausea, morning sickness if you're pregnant, diarrhea, and anxiety associated with depression. Yeah, see, there are natural ways to do all kinds of things. Cocoa. I'm glad this was a good for you. Pure cocoa is extremely bitter. Connoisseurs know that chocolate with 80% cocoa content provides a special taste experience. You can also improve your tolerance for bittersweet chocolate by starting with some variety of milk chocolate, then gradually increasing the cocoa content. Yeah, I love cocoa, and cocoa is super, super good for you. A little sugar, though, does help. It does. Okay, now let's talk about number 14, which is eggplant. Okay, now eggplant not only tastes good, but it also has an impressive healing properties. It can also be used to expel constipation, hypertension, and stomach ulcers. Eggplant will dispel toxic heat from the body, and it improves blood circulation. I can't help but think this is going to be good for your skin too. Eggplant contains bitters that provide or are an excellent digestive aid. Now, who doesn't know about green tea? Now, in addition to green tea benefits for digestive health, the ingredients found in green tea have been shown to have cancer-fighting, anti-inflammatory, and antimicrobial properties. Now, the consumption of green tea for digestive health dates back to thousands of years ago, to its earliest uses in India and in China. Brussels sprouts. Okay, you can raise those in your own garden. You know that. Now, what's found in broccoli is the same compound in Brussels sprouts contributes to the potent vegetable's cancer-protecting properties. So, natural heirloom. You always look for heirloom anyway. Okay, heirloom anything. So, the natural heirloom Brussels sprouts contain valuable bitters, vitamins B, C, potassium, as well as fiber. So, we're going to talk about B12 deficiency. So, we've had all of our little greens going on right there. So, bitter foods and why they're good for you. So, we talked about that just for a few minutes. Let's talk about vitamin B12. You know, that's huge, and we've been talking about that for a year. But vitamin B12 deficiencies are a hidden epidemic in our society today. I wonder if it's because of all the fast foods and stuff we eat. It's one of the most common and overlooked conditions in the world. Even if you get a blood test that shows your vitamin B levels are normal, that doesn't mean it's usable B12 that's absorbing where it needs to be in your body. So let's talk about this. Vitamin B12 is involved in the metabolism of every cell in your body. A deficiency can afflict one person with tremors, makes another one depressed or psychotic, and also cause agonizing leg and arm pains or paralysis in another. It can mimic Alzheimer's disease, get a little bit forgetful, multiple sclerosis, early Parkinson's disease, and also diabetic or chronic fatigue syndrome. Now let's talk about the causes of B12 deficiency. The absorption is a very complex process, and there are many factors that reduce our body's ability to process B12 effectively. For this reason, even those who consume sufficient amounts of vitamin B12 in their diets could still have a functional B12 deficiency. Some causes of B12 deficiency are anemia, autoimmune diseases, leaky gut syndrome, Crohn's disease, small intestinal bacteria overgrowth known as SIBO, S-I-B-O, high pyloric infection, prolonged uses of gastric reflux medications, vegan and vegetarian diets, genetic photomorphisms such as MTRR and TCN2, bariatric surgeries, excessive alcohol consumption can cause that, aging, reduced stomach acid, pharmaceutical medications such as metformin, that's metformin. Now, vitamin B12 deficiency and chronic disease. Let's talk about that for just a few minutes. I think we've got time. Oh yeah, we got plenty of time. Okay, let's see. There we go. So body systems affected by B12 include neurological numbness, tingling, or burning sensation in the arms, legs, or body, balance problems, difficulty ambulating, falling, weakness, tremors, paralysis, confusion, forgetfulness, dementia, depression, mental illness, incontinence, impotence, headaches, and vision loss. So let's go ahead and talk about blood. Okay, fatigue, weakness, anemia, shortness of breath, enlarged spleen or liver, enlarged red blood cells, also poor wound healing, increased susceptibility to infections, increased risk of cancer, poor antibody production after vaccines. Also vascular, which could mean coronary artery disease, heart attack, pulmonary, blood clots in the lungs, deep vein extremities, mini strokes, and a stroke. Okay, indigestion, abdominal pain, constipation, diarrhea, gastric stasis, weight loss in some people. Also, you might be more prone to fractures, suppressed activity of cells that build new bones, abnormal pap smears, urinary incontinence, impotence, and again, infertility. Okay, proper supplementation is the key. So let's talk about that just for a few minutes. I think we have some time. Okay, for most individuals, B12 is necessary. It's due to damage to the gastrointestinal system that limits their B12 absorption and genetic that reduces their B12. Now, there are several different forms of B12, and so let's talk about those. Some of these I can't even pronounce. So let's go ahead and talk about what you can take for vitamin B12 deficiency. Okay, now since your gut is actually able to produce some B12 on its own, enhancing the health of your digestive tract is crucial. So some of the foods that we were talking about, the bitter foods, that's going to help big time. Okay, but enhancing the health of your digestive tract is crucial when it comes to maintaining proper vitamin levels. So when buying a B12 supplement, look on the form, because these forms are more natural. Look for the more natural ingredients and typically better absorbed by the body. I've always heard if you buy a supplement and it's gel forms, some of the gel forms, make sure you look out for that. Some of the gel is actually petroleum based, which is not a natural thing to go into your body. And so be really careful when you're looking for gel. Okay, now some people kind of, like me, if I'm taking especially if I haven't had breakfast yet and I take something, it can make me feel a little weird in my tummy. So that's why I like to eat just a bite of something first and then going ahead and take the product if that's what I'm going to do. I'd rather do it through food. But if you need to take a pill supplement, try to eat something first and then take the pill. Now, just a bite of something, okay? Because some of these things don't work with a lot of food. If you just ate a huge breakfast, it's not going to work as well as it would if you took it on a near empty stomach. Okay, now when buying the supplement, look for what's absorbed by the body. Now, if you're over 50 and you have digestive issues, fatigue, depression, or you're a vegan or a vegetarian, have nerve pain or any other health problems, consider supplementing with a high-quality vitamin B12 supplement. Now, vitamin B12 is a water-soluble vitamin, so when combined in excess amounts, it's flushed out of the body through your urine. For this reason, a vitamin B12 overdose is likely. Okay, so, man, this is such good stuff right here. I think we're going to have to be ready to call it a day. Thank you so much for watching The Edge on IAC Radio, your source for news and entertainment. You can find us on television, channel 182, on Charter Communications, and Abundance Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Don't forget the podcast, netnewsnetwork.net. That's netnewsnetwork.net. Hope you have a super duper awesome day today. I'll be seeing you a little bit later.